Hey guys, and welcome to Quality Shot. I have with me Azhar from Cricket4Us 2.0. How are you doing, Azhar?
I'm good. Just fingers crossed. Let's see what happens on day 5. But yeah, day 4 was just stressful. Very, very stressful.
Yep. Yes, very stressful. If you're a Pakistan fan, if you're a New Zealand fan, then to be honest, you're happy, I guess. Pretty happy anyway, I'd say. And in control. Okay, so Pakistan ended day 3, bowled out for 239. So New Zealand started the day, opening the batting. And to be honest with you, I think on the whole, the openers look quite good. Tom Latham and Tom Blundell. There were a couple of nicks which kind of just didn't fall to hand, which is a bit frustrating for Pakistan, I think. And then both got their 50s as well and kind of gave them a little bit of platform. Obviously, I think once they got past that 150 mark, they were looking to declare at some point, just because I think, a lead of whatever 350 plus is what they were looking for at least. So I think eventually they declared on 180 for 5, which was a lead of 393, I think, if I'm not mistaken. No, sorry, 373. Sorry. Yeah, got my numbers mixed up there. Okay, so very briefly then, Tom Latham and Tom Blundell did their job, didn't they, really, Ashton?
Oh yeah, they were absolutely amazing. Like I remember I was like, oh, they're gonna get out. The runs kept creeping up, the overs kept going along. The only person, again, it was the same thing. Mohammad Abbas loves to, keep his economy intact, but they targeted everyone else. Shaheen Afridi, actually, he did get, as you mentioned, there were a couple of nicks that just didn't go to hand. So his economy looks a lot worse than it should be, because some of them, I think there was 2 catches, which I would call catches, but they were very, if he got his hand just under the ball, it would have been caught. But Pakistan didn't feel too badly in this inning. So I was quite happy with that from the fielding standpoint. On top of that, I think Blundell and Latham's partnership, it was 111 runs, right? And the only reason I think Blundell got out first, the only reason he got out, because they had clear instructions when they went out for lunch or drinks, whichever one it was, that, just go out and whack it now. We've got a lead of over 300 and whatever, right? Over 300, just go out and whack it. And that's exactly what they did. And he came down the crease and completely missed a straight one, basically, from Mohammad Abbas. And thankfully, from a Pakistani standpoint, that's where the wicket started to fall from. And I know you're going to get onto this, but Naseem Shah actually bowled really well in this innings.
Yeah, I'm actually going to touch upon that. So great timing. Yeah, Naseem Shah, I think, obviously the pick of the bowlers for Pakistan, 3 wickets. And yeah, I mean, he looked a little bit, I mean, I don't want to say back to his best because he's so young and inexperienced. There's not so much volume of work to really look upon. But maybe a little bit of a return to form after a disappointing first innings maybe from him. And yeah, I just think he utilised the pitch better, and he utilised the short ball at the right times. Didn't overuse it too much, and started hitting that better line length that you should be hitting in New Zealand. So I just think for him, much improved, and some of the wickets were good. And I think he had that little bit of venom back, where batsmen were kind of second guessing, and they weren't just thinking this is very easy to play. And I think the fact that he got Tom Latham out, who was obviously set, Kane Williamson, who we know is a danger man, and Henry Nicholls, who has got runs as well recently, I think kind of is a testament to how well he bowled.
Yeah, he was, and this is the funny thing. I noticed this, and then the commentator said it straight away as well. So I was glad I was noticing the right thing. But basically, he had the Wagner field, the field that Wagner puts on every time he's going to just bowl bouncers and then slip in that full delivery as well. So that's exactly what Naseem Shah was doing, and I think 2 of his wickets were caught at the boundary or somewhere further out rather than in the inner circle. So I think that bouncer tactic worked, and because maybe the pitch did get a bit slower, but for him, it got a bit quicker when it hit the pitch. It would skid off and go bounce a bit more than the batsman expected. One thing I am a bit worried about is the fact that he's bowled 9 no balls in this match, right? 5 in the first innings, 4 in the second. Yes, Pakistan has bowled no balls, but as of late, they haven't bowled that many. So I'm just not used to that. So maybe he's run up a bit longer than he needs to, or maybe he just needs to check that a bit more. But all in all, I'm just glad, yes, as you said, for a person that young, saying, oh, he's back in form isn't the correct terminology, but I'm glad he's back in form.
Yeah, 100%. I think sometimes when you're at that age, your run up might be slightly longer than it needs to be, and it doesn't actually generate extra pace. So there's a balance where you don't want it to be too short so that you lose an extra yard of pace, but you don't want it to be too long where actually what happens is there's a kind of a length to your run up where you go beyond that and it doesn't add anything to it and it just makes you more tired. So I think there's a balance there for sure. So let's see how it goes. But yeah, I just think he's obviously a very good talent, and hopefully him and Shaheen Afridi, Pakistan need to look after them. So hopefully they will do so. Okay, so obviously, as I said, New Zealand 180 for 5 declared, and yeah, lead of 373, which obviously looks pretty imposing at the time. And Pakistan, I mean, realistically, to get that total, will need to bat the majority of, I'd say, day 5, if not all of it, to get close to that. And yeah, I mean, obviously they had a little bit of a start, a very bad start, let's say. Sharma Masood and Abid Ali both out for ducks, and probably the worst possible start as a Pakistani fan that you can imagine. Southey Bolt getting that new ball to shape, and yeah, I think both actually shaped away. I might be wrong, but I think both shaped away from the batsman. But either way, it was a bit of a swing movement, and obviously both nicked, and just disappointing in a way, but not the best start, was it, Ashton, really, to be fair?
Not at all. It was like because I watched the India game and I came back and it was 0 for 2 in 3 overs or something, and I'm like, what's happened? And yes, there were really good deliveries. You can't argue that. The one to Abid Ali from Trent Ball did bounce a bit more than he thought. At least his reaction seemed like that. But the way Southee's swinging the ball, that guy, I think he's got 300 Test wickets now after the one he took of Shan Masood or Harsel, can't remember. But basically, this bowling lineup is absolutely stacked. It is it is going to be very difficult for Pakistan to get through the entire day with only 7 wickets in hand. But I think Pakistan, if they have these players, is it Azhar Ali and Fawad, they're at the crease, aren't they? So if both of them stay at the crease and just occupy the crease, get runs when they can, but just occupy the crease as long as possible, they aren't going for a win. I'm telling you, it's highly unlikely Pakistan is going to win this, but they have to try and go for the draw and then go for the win. The best example I can give you is Headingley, Ben Stokes, right? He wasn't going for the win initially. I remember he mentioned that he was going for a draw, wasn't he?
Yeah, Pakistan, though, they've done something similar. I think it was against Sri Lanka.
Yeah, you're right.
And Yunus Khan hit I think it was either 100 or a big 100 or a double 100, and Shah Masood hit 100 as well. And we actually won it on day 5. They looked pretty improbable. Obviously, we don't have that type of firepower at the moment, let's be honest. Haris Sahel, I thought, was it was disappointing because he hasn't got any runs, and we know how good he can be. I thought it was a good catch from Santner, and he just kind of didn't quite time the ball well enough and drove straight to, I think it was short cover. So, yeah, for me, he's someone that could have done that job on day 5. But we do have some batsmen, but really we're relying on 4 batsmen. And I'm saying 4 because I'm now including Fahim Ashraf after scoring runs in the first innings. But really, if you asked me before this test match, I would have said 3. So it's kind of worrying. But Azhar Ali and Fawad Alam, both of them are going to have to get some type of runs. But it's good that they've obviously started to form a partnership. What is it? So it's 34 runs already in that partnership, both going relatively slowly, especially Azhar Ali, but a couple of nice drives, kind of punches even down the ground from Azhar Ali, which he looked really good, I thought. And he's weird. He's a weird one because he blows hot and cold, but he's blown more cold than hot recently, since that 100 that he scored against England, and then the rest of the series was rubbish. And then similarly, he's doing the same thing here, it seems. And hopefully he can score another 100 here because we need him to. And he's also got that ability. Fawad Alam, me and you have discussed about him so much. They want him to do well. He's also got the ability, whether he can do it or not, we shall see. But yeah, I'm still going to stick to my prediction of Pakistan winning. But yeah, we're going to have to, like you said, the early doors, we're going to have to weather the storm a little bit. And then you're going to have to push on from there if we have any chance and want to win the game. We're going to have to go for it because realistically, to get a draw, I don't think it's going to happen. We need to put pressure on the bowlers, otherwise they'll get comfortable as well, and then they'll start attacking us because they'll realise actually there's no risk of them losing the game. They can only win the game from here. So yeah, we'll see. How do you see day 5 going though, realistically?
Realistically or optimistically?
Both, I guess.
Right. Okay. Optimistically, I think if Pakistan survives the first session without a wicket, right, there's approximately 28 overs that need to be bowled, 28 to 30 overs. So if Pakistan can get to 171 for 3, Pakistan can get to 170 odd for 3 by the end of the first session, that will be very, very good for them, going at a run rate of 3.5. And saving those wickets. The wickets are key, absolutely, because when you start losing wickets, you get into that defensive shell, and therefore you're not scoring runs. And you stole the words right out of my mouth that Pakistan needs to counter-attack in some sort of way, because otherwise the New Zealand bowlers won't make mistakes. Wagner, he's going to keep bowling those bounces. Jamieson is going to keep bowling in the same line. That's what they did in the first innings.
Yeah.
The only reason why Rizwan and Fahim Ashraf could score because they went at them, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, so Neil Wagner at the moment and Carl Jameson are both going for economies of around 0.5, which is ridiculous. Neil Wagner at some point, like Rizwan did, and Fawad attempted to do, and obviously Fahim Ashraf did in the end, you just got to, eventually you're going to have to take him on, obviously selectively, but you can't have an over go by where he bowls 5 short deliveries at you and you don't take one on, because I'm pretty sure not every single one is going to be on the money. And if they are, then fine, but they won't be back-to-back overs if that's the case, that's for sure. So really, you should be getting 6 runs from his 2 overs, even if it's a single in one and then 5 in the other, or 2 and 2 and 4 even. So I just think we have to do that.
One thing I realized, and I saw this morning, that New Zealand misfielded something, which was
yes.
just...
Oh my god. So basically, that actually I forgot to mention that. So that was ridiculous. So there was an overthrow, wasn't it? Initially,
it was double overthrow.
Yeah, it was an overthrow, exactly. And then they're running, and I think Fawad and it was Azhar. Yeah, they ran a single. The overthrow, they ran another one. Then they basically threw it to the keeper, went over the keeper's head. They weren't backing up again, and then it basically was another overthrow. And then Williamson, I think, was the one who chased the ball and just threw it basically halfway to make sure that it didn't happen again. But that was so uncharacteristic of New Zealand, and it's the type of thing you see in Colts cricket, really, to be honest with you, where you see it and you're just like, and even then you're like, oh my god, that's terrible, because backing up is such a simple part of the game in fielding wise. And if it's a bad throw, of course that's not ideal, but really bad throws happen. So even at the top level, so it's the backing up, and both times they didn't back up, and obviously it's hilarious because the guys who threw it, they saw that those guys weren't backing up, and they didn't think, oh, hold on, yeah, they didn't back up, so we should probably back up. Oh no, actually no, we won't back up because it'll be fine. Like it was pretty comical, to be honest with you. It's the type of thing that you never will see from New Zealand. So I just was like, whoa.
That gave me a bit of hope that, oh, New Zealand can make mistakes. Maybe they are under pressure, and maybe your prediction comes to, if you're like I said before the match started, or on day 1 or something. if Pakistan wins this match, I'm gonna buy you something. I'm gonna buy you some food. Let's just do it that way.
Yeah,
I'll buy you a pizza.
Yeah. Can't wait for the pizza, Ashton. I want to be optimistic.
I don't mind raking in the money for that pizza if Pakistan wins.
I'll tell you what, it'll be a great win if they do, that's for sure. But yeah, I mean, look, as you said, I think if we're looking at percentages, you're looking 75% New Zealand, at least probably 25% Pakistan. I think realistically is what you would say. That's probably what WinViz says. WinViz probably says 10% Pakistan, 90% New Zealand, if I'm being honest with you. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I think you're right. The first session, and like I've said this to Venu, and I've said this to you, and I think every single video, I always keep on saying this after the day reviews, the first session is going to be crucial. And I always say that every day, because it just seems to me that the way that the matches have stacked up every day at the end, at the close of play, is that that first session is just pivotal to set the tone. So we'll see. And I think here, again, it will do. So look, Santner as well, we're going to take on as a spinner. We're going to have to. Azhar Ali, I don't know how... from what I know, he's an okay player of spin. But Fawad is quite a good player of spin, from what I know. Mohammed Rizwan. Yeah,
and he's spinning into him.
Exactly.
So that helps.
Yeah, exactly. And that'll be the same if Fahim Ashraf's in, and Mohammed Rizwan plays spin well as well. So I think, look, we've got to utilise that. And Santner's a wily bowler, but he's gone for the most runs so far, economy-wise. So, and he will bowl more because they'll be looking at making him bowl more, because they're going to be looking to bowl on the cracks and all the rough that's there. So they'll put trust in him. But if we can get him out of the attack, then it brings the quicks back, and then it puts pressure on them. And then if they don't do well, so that's how you have a cumulative effect. So in my mind, this is just me giving my tactics for how Pakistan need to win the game, which probably will go completely the opposite direction. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, yeah, anything else you want to touch on before we wrap up?
No, just day 5 will be on Cricket4Us 2.0. Thank you for having me on here. It won't be a very long, well, let's hope it's a long day. I've waited for a 5-day test match for so long now, and it's finally here.
Yeah, the other two obviously didn't. I would have thought that one of those may have, but look, fair play to Pakistan. They've got to day 5, if I'm being honest with you.
I just don't want to be glad as a Pakistani fan. Oh, at least we got to day 5. We got to a day 5. We almost won, right? That's the mind, or at least we won, right? Something like that. But I can't wait for your review on Sri Lanka, South Africa. I'm waiting for Venue to go a bit off the roof. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, I think we'll probably do a day and then probably just the whole test match review as well. So yeah, if you're around, then you're welcome to join. Probably same for India, Australia as well. The day and then also may as well just chuck in the test match review as well. But yeah, those are both done. So yeah, I mean, pretty surprising. But Pakistan have got a chance here to, well, I guess to be honest with you, it'd be the biggest upset, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Let's be honest, of the Boxing Day test. So let's see how it goes. Okay. Thanks very much, Ashton. And yeah, look forward to tomorrow as well, guys. Check out Ashton's channel, Cricket4Us 2.0, and as he said, I'll be on his channel tomorrow for day 5. We've been alternating days, which I think has gone quite well, actually, to be honest. It's been nice. And yeah, see you on the next video. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.